For today's Bring Back Paper, I want to talk to you about my favourite reading genre, which you can probably tell looking at the books in front of us there, is Regency Romance. These are my favourite go-to reads, my pick-me-up reads. These are the ones that I'll often read again as well, from these three particular authors. I own all of their books. And they're my little pick-me-up, cheer-up reads if I fancy an easy read as well. I know it's going to end well, and it will always make me smile as well. I read a lot of different genres. I read, horror, murder, chick lit, classic, fantasy, of course, Regency Romance. I think the reason that this one's my favourite is because it does always make you smile. It is always going to have that happy ending, and of course, being a history student as well, these are all set in Regency England. I kind of like that element and that thread running through it as well. These particular ladies are my favourite authors, so I'll just give you a little brief look at their books and a feel for which ones to go to, which ones to start with if you fancy giving any of them a try as well. So if we start with Julia Quinn here, there's a few of hers. This one, Duke and I. This one is the first one that I read of hers. This is probably the first one that really got me into Regency Romance as well. I kind of discovered, for want of a better word, discovered Julia Quinn, read this one, then quickly bought her all the other Bridgerton books. This series is all about the Bridgertons family. This one starts with Daphne, and it's Daphne Bridgerton's story with Simon, Duke of Hastings. And after I'd bought all of those, read all of those, there's 8 of those, I then sort of went back and bought some of her earlier books. I've since been buying and reading all of her subsequent books, and she's just released one that I just read in the last few weeks, which is actually a prequel to these, called Because of Miss Bridgerton. So it's nice to have those sort of characters back in it again. This is a great one to start with, and the Bridgertons, Julia Quinn's really well known for the Bridgerton series, and they're great characters. You get to, you have your favourite heroes, your favourite heroines. They're all fun. Considering that it's set when it is in Regency England, the heroines are all, they're all smart, they're intelligent. There's a little bit of feistiness in some of them, depending on the book, the story. But these are great reads, and if you're going to start with Julia Quinn, I would say start with The Duke and I. This is another Bridgerton story here that I've grabbed. That's Daphne's younger brother Gregory. This is actually the last one in the series. He's the last one to get married. Just like Heaven, this one is part of her Smythe Smith series, and then this is one of her earlier stories as well, Brighter Than the Sun. As it says there, it's witty Regency set romantic comedies. They're brilliant. They're fun to read. After Julia, I then, probably because I probably read it somewhere, but people that like Julia Quinn books probably also enjoy Eloisa James, and I know Julia mentions Eloisa quite a bit on her Facebook page. I then moved on to trying some Eloisa James books. As soon as I started reading those, again, I ended up getting them all, and again, get all the latest titles now. With those, she's got quite a few different series actually. This one, for example, The Ugly Duchess. This one is in her fairy tales series, so they're spins on classic fairy tales. Obviously, this one's around Ugly Duckling. She's also got one that spins around Beauty and the Beast. There's one around Cinderella. So those ones are fun. Those ones are fun reads because you kind of know the story, being the classic, but the way she does it, it's really clever. Really brings it to life. This is one of her more recent books, and this is one of her series that's still running as well. Just bought the latest one of these, which is My American Duchess. These ones are quite interesting because obviously they're set in Regency times, but the women in these, the heroines in each of these in this series, are all they're standing on their own 2 feet. Really, they're businesswomen of that time, which is quite different and enjoyable to see their stories panning out. And then this one, Duchess by Night is one that I've grabbed there and I've enjoyed. This one's one of the Desperate Duchesses books, which was one of the first ones that I read. This, I would say, if you're going to start on Eloisa James, probably start here. These are fabulous as well. The only thing is, if you're anything like me, she's still writing that series, and I would just, you know, you've got a whole back catalogue to go through those ones first, and then maybe she'll have written more, and you'll be able to catch up on those. But these are great as well. They're quite Eloisa's heroines are quite real. They're quite flawed. And the heroes are as well, really. They're not really painted in quite the light-hearted, picture-perfect way. They've got real character flaws, which makes it enjoyable to read. So those ones are good ones as well. And then the last lady that I just wanted to tell you about was Sarah MacLean. Again, I have all of Sarah MacLean's books. If you're going to start anywhere, I absolutely adore the Rule of Scoundrels series. So this is A Rogue by Any Other Name, which is the first one in the series. You'll see it's around it's around a group of people who own London's most popular gaming hell, most exclusive gaming hell. This first one starts around Marquis of Bourne, and then you'll see the other partners in the other books. It's nice because you get to really know them through the different stories. But this one's a lot of fun. Again, love the way that she writes, really, really witty. Difficult to put these ones down. And this one is her latest. I had this on pre-order, of course. I read it, I think, within the first day or two that it came, which is no mean feat with the kids around and everything else. But I got down to that one and absolutely loved that. Couldn't really put that one down. So they're great as well. It's a new series that she's writing. But I would say start with this one. So I'd say start with A Rogue by Any Other Name, the Rule of Scoundrels series with Sarah MacLean. I would go for The Duke and I, which is the first in the Bridgerton series, if you're going to try Julia Quinn. And I would say probably try the Desperate Duchesses with Eloisa James. But I mean, really, she's written quite a few different series, so, you know, whichever one takes your fancy, just start with the first book, work your way through. And hopefully you'll enjoy them if you give them a go. If you do give them a go, do let me know. It'd be lovely to hear what you think about them. If you already read these, if you already read Regency Romance, you've read any of these ladies and you've got any recommendations, I would love to hear those. Always looking for more. And that's about it for me and Bring Back Paper today. Hope you enjoyed my little whiz through Regency Romance. See you next time.